Hey guys, Buffner Gaming back, bringing you another video, and today we're going to be covering in our weapon conversion series the Mini UZI. So what we're going to be doing is turning the UZI into the Mini UZI using weapon conversion tactics here. So first off, we'll do the transformation, and then we're going to go ahead and see what the recoil pattern is with the Mini UZI, and then see how it performs in game as well. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So here you see our final design, so let's go ahead and strip this down. So here we have the base UZI. So as you can see, not too much is going to change. The main thing here is the barrel. So the standard barrel length on the UZI is a 10-inch barrel. So what we want to do with this to convert it to the Mini UZI is bring it down to an 8.5. So in real life, the Mini UZI has a 7.7-inch barrel, but obviously we don't have a 7.7-inch. So we're going to take it from the standard 10 or 10.2-inch barrel to the 8.5 factory Mini. So this is a short, compact barrel, sacrifices accuracy and range for speed and agility, improves performance in close quarters combat. So that's specifically what this weapon's built for, being a more compact version of the UZI. So the pros are ADS speed and movement speed, cons are bullet velocity and recoil control. So that's okay, we can accept that given the role this weapon is for. So that 8.5-inch barrel, we're going to skip out on the laser and the optic. These are more personal preference. The stock, we're also going to skip out on because right now we have that metallic folding stock that's standard with the UZI. Other options here, you could go with the UZI with a wooden stock here, which is a fixed wooden stock. That's also one option if you want that more classic look. But for what we want that folding stock. So we're going to stay with that stock. Perk, what I want here, usually I don't do perks for these videos, but we're going to do sleight of hand. This is going to help with our reload quickness. Given that the mag size, regardless, the rate of fire is really fast. So what we're going to do with the mag is the 40-round mags. It's still going to fire super fast, so we do want to be able to reload that quickly. For the rear grip, we're going to go with a stipple grip tape. This is going to help us with our ADS speed as well as our sprint to fire speed. So our only con here is aiming stability, which we can sacrifice that as well. Ammunition, this is more personal preference. I'm going to go with a 40-round mag just because it keeps that black aesthetic look to it. The 50-round mag, I just don't like the way that looks. If you want those extra 10-round mags or 10 rounds in the magazine, go for it. But as for aesthetic and just the overall cosmetic look of what the Mini UZI is, I want to keep that base black magazine look that we have with the standard magazine. So we'll do that 40-round mag. For the underbarrel, we're going to skip out because in real life, obviously there's no real rail system on this. It's not utilized with a grip, so we're going to skip out on the grip for that. Again, this is personal preference if you wanted to put something on there. Also, you can go with a laser and optic if you wanted to as well. The last one here is for the muzzle. We're going to go with that monolithic suppressor for the Mini UZI. So what this is going to do is monolithic core provides superior sound suppression and increased range. Moderate weight increase affects agility. So it is going to affect our agility with our mobility speed here as well as our control slightly. But the pros are sound suppression and damage at range. So other options, obviously, if you wanted to go with a lightweight or a tactical, you wouldn't hurt your, you can see you won't hurt your mobility that as bad, but monolithic suppressor is going to give us that more range, plus overall aesthetics of the Mini UZI. This is something that's been drilled into my head for a long time. It's just the way it's aesthetically pleasing with that monolithic suppressor. So here's our final design. This is the Mini UZI with that 8.5-inch barrel that you're going to want. Again, in real life, it has a 7.7-inch, but we don't have that option to go down that low. So we're going to take it from the standard 10.2 to the 8.5-inch barrel here. And this is our final design for the Mini UZI by the IDF, or Israeli Defense Forces. And you can see overall the aesthetics and cosmetics of this is beautiful. It has that foldable stock that we're used to with the Mini UZI. One thing to note is with this stock, maybe we'll see this in a blueprint, is since this is a foldable stock, the way you'll see this folded if you just look it up online, it folds to the front. You can also utilize it as almost a front grip as well with that butt stock. So that's one option here why we don't, that's another reason we don't have the grip on there as well. But this is the final design. Let's go ahead and get in game now and see how it performs with the recoil and then see how it goes up against bots. Okay, now that we're in game, let's go ahead and check the recoil pattern on this weapon. So first off, what we're going to do, I think this is probably a good wall here. We'll start on there and then we'll turn around. So first off, if we don't control the recoil, so you can see there, very accurate, not a lot of bullet spread whatsoever. The only downside is your rate of fire is pretty low on this weapon compared to other SMGs, but not a big spread at all with that. So Now let's try to control our recoil. And we'll do it here. There you go. So all 40 rounds, you're honestly better off not controlling this. You can see how it reacts when I'm not controlling it. It's basically dead on, right? So let's try this again. So not much reloading at all is needed there. Very accurate weapon. Now the hip fire on this, still pretty good, even at this range. Obviously your hip fire range probably around here at max, right? Okay, so now that we're in game with our Mini UZI, let's go ahead and see how it performs here in PDW situation. You can see that 40 round mag, we're just ripping through people. Obviously it doesn't have the greatest rate of fire on this thing, but the recoil is very controllable with this particular build. And that 40 round mag definitely helps. So again, if you wanted that 50 round mag, it would be good. But it's only going to give it 10x rounds. For aesthetic purposes, we're just sticking with the 40 just because it gives us that Mini UZI look. Along with the 8.5 inch barrel. So this thing handles really well for what its role is. I think it works perfectly. Obviously, right there, running out of ammo, that's where sleight of hand would come in handy, but not around 5 or 6 enemies like we were in that situation. Very little recoil. Don't really need to control it that much at all. Again, you get an initial kick on the first shot, but this range here, you don't need to control anything. So, again, right there, we just climbed slightly up to the head. Uh-oh. Darn. Not too good against a shotgun at close range right there. But, again, the hip fire, even on the base, even though we're not doing anything to control our recoil with the hip fire, we don't have like a laser on there to help with our hip fire. It still has decent hip fire, as we showed, with that monolithic suppressor. It keeps everything a lot tighter, it seems. And just I'm kind of in awe with a lack of recoil here. I'm really not controlling this at all. The only thing that's going to get you is running out of ammo. But again, you're not going to find yourself in situations surrounded this heavily by enemies, I wouldn't think. But some stats on the Mini UZI. Obviously, this is a just conversion from the UZI with a standard 10.2 inch barrel. Also seen in a 16 inch barrel that we do have options for as well. But this is the 8.5 inch. In real life, the Mini UZI has a barrel length of 7.7 inches. So there's a few different military versions of the UZI itself. There's the UZI submachine gun, which is the base, the Mini UZI, the micro UZI, which is even a more compact, and then the UZI Pro, which is a newer model developed in 2010. Which is a more modernized version, has a Picatinny rail system, just that overall modern design with the UZI. Has Picatinny rails again on the handguard as well to give you more options for attachments for lasers, front grips, etc. Things like that that'll definitely help out. So obviously the primary, this was used by the Israeli Defense Force, and it was taken out of service recently for the Tavor PDW, the PDW variant of the Tavor, the TAR 21 line there, that I think we'll be able to cover here in the future. But that itself, there we go. Oh boy. So the UZI Pro, again, kind of made to replace that. Still utilized by the IDF and many other countries and militaries around the world. Oh boy. Darn. So the stats on the Mini UZI itself is, again, more scaled down version. It was introduced in 1986. The Mini UZI developed in 1988 is when it was introduced. Or 1980, I'm sorry. I keep getting this confused with the different versions. So again, 1980, the Mini UZI was introduced. Has a total length of 23 inches from the stock all the way to the length of the barrel. 14 inches with no stock, if it's folded. The barrel length, 197 millimeters, or as we discussed, 7.76 inches in total. The muzzle velocity is 375 meters per second. Oh boy. God, this thing handles so well. So again, muzzle velocity 375 meters per second, or 1,230 feet per second. The effective range is 100 meters. It has a greater automatic rate of fire at 950 due to the more compact size, so 950 rounds per minute due to the more compact size of this weapon. Wonder if we mount this, what that'll be like. So again, it still handles pretty well here, even at these ranges. Oh, I thought I heard somebody over here. Nope. There's one. The UZI itself can chamber the 9mm parabellum we see here, 22, a .44, which is, excuse me, .44 AI, I believe the name of the round, also a 45 ACP variant as well, just by swapping out the barrel and the bulk carrier, and you have yourself a 45 ACP submachine gun, essentially. So it handles really well. Again, the rate of fire, if you were to do the 45, would go down because you're firing heavier rounds. The magazine capacity isn't as great as you would with 9mm. So the UZI itself was developed in the late 1940s. Finally, the prototype was finished in 1950. It was developed by Uzi Gale, so that obviously the weapon is named after him. It was put into service in 1954 by the Israeli Defense Forces and widely used around the world. It had some different manufacturers over the years, but it's been in service in 1954 through present. It's been seen and used in countless wars. Oh boy. This map is tough because you hear these guys all over the place. But this weapon, I think, handles amazing compared to some other SMG builds that we've covered in the past, too. There we go. So this is the Mini UZI. Let me know what you guys think of this weapon in the comments below. Another thing to note is between 1960 and 1980, the UZI itself saw more sales than any other submachine gun in the world, as far as sales to military, law enforcement, and other market dealers as well. So one of the most popular submachine guns in the world ever manufactured. So let me know what you guys think. I know a lot of you asked for this particular build. Again, this probably isn't the most feasible build. You have different options here that you could use. But let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. Be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, Buffner Gaming, out.
Conquered the enemy. Well done.